for the educator, a teacher who may be watching or listening to this, who's doing the best they can? What are some like encouraging words you have for them or words of advice as they are also battling this system and all the things that are going against us?
Well, I've been stating this for a long time, and I'm gonna die on this hill. Okay, self-care, it has to exist. You cannot be your best self if you're not taking care of yourself. So I have teachers, I know they're still out there, who grade all the way till midnight. They are doing every single thing out and under the sun to support these kids. What are you doing to support yourself to where you can show up? Because there's stressors, there's going to exist. Everybody has a threshold. So I can't have you breaking down because you're not taking care of your well-being. So I advocate for self-care. You need to figure out what we're doing for your body, for your mind, and for your soul. Like, what are we doing? I work out in the morning. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym for an hour. I got to be in the building by 7:30.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I'm sacrificing sleep so I can be okay with a normative process with my body.
Yeah.
Right? Are you going? Some people read a book. Some people watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like, you have to detach yourself.
Be intentional about that.
You have to be intentional, and you have to do it. It has to be a routine.
Yeah.
Don't do it just one time.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to the gym once this week.
Like, wait till you burn out, then you do it.
Yeah,
then
you wait
back
till
to your
the burnout
yeah.
exists.
Yeah,
because what ends up happening is when burnout exists, and you're harming kids.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you see those crash outs that happen at like a restaurant or whatever, they crash out on the customer, and now the customer's suing the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm saying because you didn't take care of yourself. You have to find a formula of success.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes. Welcome.
What it do?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into the UpNUp podcast on the UpNUp network. I'm your host, Rebel.
And I'm DJ Erm.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you been?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm good. I'm blessed.
Yes, sir.
Blessed, man. Grateful. How you feeling, though?
I'm good,
chilling.
bro. I'm blessed and grateful, too, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Feeling good, man. Feeling great.
Yeah. Nah, man. I'm always blessed to come in here. For those first-time listeners, as I stated, this is the UpNUp podcast. This is the podcast where we're focused on cultivating culture. We do that by providing amazing stories of individuals, groups, movements, the hustlers, the shakers, those who are breaking down barriers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Not only for all of us currently here, but for the next generation. Definitely want to shout out the team in the building.
Yes, sir.
In the building and outside the building, other side of the door as well. Shout out to y'all. And yeah, man, like I said, this is your first time tuning in. Welcome to the family. And now, man, bro, like you said, feeling good. You know, we get a chance to come in here and address whether it be topics, whether it be issues, but we get to do that through the form of storytelling.
Yeah.
We get a chance to really dive into another journey every episode. So I'm always grateful for that. And today's guest is no different, bro. Today is someone who is definitely a friend.
Yes, sir.
Friend, family member to the show,
sir.
obviously.
Yes, sir.
But he's truly someone I would say is walking the walk, right? When you're talking about making systemic changes, but he's doing it from the inside out, right? Not just talking about it from the outside perspective.
Yeah.
He represents what it looks like to advocate for education, equity, and justice. Whether that's in his role currently as assistant principal at Garfield High School here in Seattle, Washington. Or through his countless advocacy work in the education space just in general, right? Working in the community. He has over 10 years of experience in the space of education. And, you know, that growth isn't alone. He's doing it not just by himself. He's doing it with his community, those that have helped him get to this point. And he's allowing us to come into that world with him, right?
Yeah.
Us along with the audience members. So, again, man, like I said, this is a friend. This is a brother to the show. But
yes, sir.
We're honored to have him here. Long overdue, obviously.
Yep.
So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Our guest is none other than the good brother himself, Ivery Rhodes. Can we get
Yeah.
applause, man? Give it up. Give it up. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Been waiting to get back here.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys said, this is family, so
Yeah.
it's always good to come back to family.
Yes, sir.
I'm truly honored to be in the space and can't wait to really drop these jewels.
Yeah. Now, how's the day treating you? Feeling good?
The day's been good. Day's been good. You know, Seattle summers are the best summers.
Mhm.
Everybody says it.
Tell
You
'em.
don't get to experience it unless you're here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's facts.
So I'm enjoying it while we have it. Every single day, try to be out, try to be in nature, try to be around friends, family, those that bring joy and self care.
Yes, sir.
Is kind of where I'm kind of centering myself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for being here, bro.
Yeah,
I
bro.
appreciate it.
We're honored, bro, to have
Yeah.
you sit here
I'm honored.
and drop the jewels,
Mhm.
man.
Come on. Well,
Yeah.
as you know, you're obviously supporter, fan of the show. But we start every episode with the quote of the day, bro. Something to get the vibe right, get the convo
Waiting on it.
started. We've been waiting.
I'm waiting on it.
Yeah, man.
They've been waiting,
Let's
Erm.
go.
What we got,
we
man?
got
What's
today?
the
The
quote
quote
of
of
the
the
day?
day today is I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things that I cannot accept.
That's a good one. I had to let that breathe for a second.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had
Let
to let that
one
breathe.
dive deep
Yeah.
into the roots.
Who's that quote by?
Angela Davis. Yeah.
Damn, shout out Angela Davis.
Mhm.
Sure.
That's dope. What do you think
Yeah.
about that quote?
I think that quote kind of is sitting with me as in you can't really let things that are out of your control take over your thought process, whether it's your experience, your responsibility, kind of how you're aligning yourself throughout your days, and recognizing what's within your wheelhouse. And so you really got to take in to account like what's my strengths, what can I kind of take ownership in, whether it's in the moment, whether that's within the goal that you're working towards. So I think it's like really trying to stay rooted in like your own authentic uniqueness and not really worried about too much of what's out of your frame that's you've been pushing towards get like systems that exist outside of you.
Yeah.
You can be knowledgeable of it, but are you in control to change it?
Yeah.
You're only thing you're really in control of how you respond to it. So taking into that as an account, how am I responding to these things?
Mhm.
That's within my wheelhouse.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's powerful, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it just makes me think about responsibility. Like sometimes we take on responsibilities that aren't ours,
True.
which just makes things even harder.
Mhm.
Sometimes you gotta, hey, that ain't my responsibility, man. Like,
Yeah.
just keep it real. Like,
Yep.
That's
you
true.
know?
Like sometimes you have to create some barriers,
Yeah.
which are hard to do.
Yeah, it
Sometimes,
is.
especially when you're the type of person who always wants to help or always
Exactly.
wants to solve an issue or a problem to take things off of other people's plate. Man, your plate can get overfilled.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be aware of that.
Yeah. No, that's real.
Yeah.
Great quote, Erm. Great quote.
Great quote.
Thank you.
So Ivory, obviously you're familiar with the show, the program. We obviously are going to give you a chance to speak to your journey, man. All that you've been through. I do love to always start these episodes just getting a sense of where you're at currently. And so when you're talking about seasons that we all go through, how would you describe the current season you're in right now?
Current season I'm in right now, I would say that I'm marinating. I love that at this moment in time. There's not very often that I get the chance to be in space with my family and friends. You know, jobs and endeavors take you out of that space so often.
Yeah.
And it becomes a priority. It becomes routine. And so, in the summer as an educator, these are those moments where I try to dive really deeply into catching up with the things that I've missed. And so whether that's with the family or whether that's with the friends, I'm trying to marinate in like the self-careness of it all, because there's so much that I've probably have missed, but I've missed it for a good intentional purpose. And I think I can honor that by being more intentional to be in those spaces now. And also in the form of like marination, I just coming off my first year at Garfield.
There you go. Congrats,
Yeah.
man.
I
Congrats,
appreciate
bro.
you guys.
Big,
Yeah.
Really,
big.
truly. And so like thinking about everything that we accomplished this year, thinking about all of the growth that I've seen, whether it's from my students, from my staff, whether it's from my community, and really trying to highlight what type of things that I want to improve on. Like there's always going to be I don't like to be complacent and be stagnant in my practices. So I really want to focus on like what are the things that are also going back to your quote, what's in my control to really push that growth.
Yeah.
And then also for myself, I need to really look at my own practice as an educator. Where are my gaps, and start really aligning. Who can I look to? What book can I read? What resource can I utilize to start building up that muscle that wasn't as strong in my first year that I plan to have, just as my strongest muscle moving forward in my next year. And so looking at different resources, getting out there, networking with other principals, other leaders. I just got done speaking at the National Conference for Secondary Principals earlier this month.
Yes,
was able to teach a good lesson around educational justice. Got to network with so many different great leaders, and was able to get some tools that I can bring, put that in my toolbox. So I'm always looking to really sit down with that and try to integrate that into my next year. As I move forward.
Yeah, no, I love that, bro.
Yeah,
I love the term marinate because I
that was a
think
good one.
I think we all know what that means, like literally, but then figuratively, it makes hella sense. Yeah, that's dope.
Definitely. Also want to give you a chance to talk about your upbringing, growing up in Seattle. Speaking of family of friends, just definitely want you to touch on that and give you a chance to.
Of course, man. I'm a homegrown kid, and I'm straight. All my family is from Seattle. I grew up in the CD, right on 23rd. I'm the youngest of 5 brothers. I have 2 stepbrothers. Actually, I can keep going. I got more than that. But just in my immediate household, the youngest of 5. My upbringing was interesting. I like to kind of always have a positive thought process. I don't like to try to use negative words. I will say interesting because I didn't have the normative route that most would have. Mom, single parent, trying to, feed 4 hungry boys. And, the only thing she wanted us to do was like, hey, I just want you guys to experience something that she never got. She never finished high school. So she was real adamant about making sure I was around people to help put me in those spaces to where I can find success. So I'm in every single community center, everywhere, didn't matter where it was. Athletically put into basketball, baseball, didn't matter. Like my mom wanted me to be around a lot of positive role models. And then, if you're from the city and the community centers, that's exactly where you find those.
For sure.
And so going throughout, I end up, I'm African American Academy, K through 8th. All my brothers went there. RIP to African American Academy, one of the best schools. And
that just sounds like a great school.
Man, one of the best schools, man. I got to learn about my history, my culture. That was part of our curriculum. I got to learn exactly where my African heritage were rooted, and it was a little bit different than other schools. And I got to experience that. I got to be taught by Black teachers. I had a Black principal. That's not very often that you get that back then. And so going back to what I was stating earlier about those mentors, my mom was always putting me into programs. Like I was in every single mentoring program, didn't matter what it was. I barely was home because there's no food at home. You know where the food's at the community center. You know, we got the food, the mentoring program.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
4 boys, like, man, we're eating.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. We're eating the same things, and so but I got to be around people who were advocates of something that my family never really got, which was education. So, while I want to say in high school is when I got into a really big mentoring program at Cleveland High School, where I got a mentor. His name's Ben. He would advocated about college. I didn't think college was even a thing. I had no idea. My mom just said, "Go." How we gonna pay? We've been homeless before. How we paying for college? It's impossible. So she put me in mentoring programs. He was explaining to me like, "Yeah, you have the ability to do it. We're gonna help you with scholarships. I'm gonna show you how I went to college, and he showed me a different experience. Like I've never really got to go to a movie and go to Bellevue and have dinner.
Yeah.
I never even been to Bellevue. I'm a senior kid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exposure.
It's exposure. You know what I'm saying? So, throughout high school, I was able to get into a lot of different programs. College Success Foundation. I was one of their poster kids. Bill Gates paid for my college. I ended up going to Eastern Washington, where where the family was met.
Not to cut you off,
No,
but first of all, shout out College Success Foundation, man.
Come on now.
They definitely plugged.
They
helped a lot of us out.
A lot of us out.
Yeah. I got stories for days about
Same.
that. But I wanted to go back a little bit because I draw a parallel because currently you're working in education, right? And I would love to kind of get your perspective when you look back on kind of your upbringing and going through early elementary, early education. Like, what was that experience like for you versus kind of what you're witnessing now with kids that were your age, at the same age you were?
My experience early on was that the teachers and the individuals that worked in the schools lived in the area. They were my uncles and aunts, and they knew my family. They knew everybody. They knew my grandfather. They knew who I was, and so they were an extension of the family.
Got you.
It wasn't when you left home, you treated school the same way as you treated at home.
It was like very connected.
It was very connected.
Yeah. Got you.
So my mom didn't have to worry about anything. She would legitimately give permissions like, hey, yeah, don't call me. That's your kid. That's you guys go to church together. You don't have to call me.
Yeah.
Like, I trust you guys.
The village. It felt like a village. Yeah.
So, we say that saying all the time. It takes a village to raise a kid. It truly does. Especially our black and brown kids, because we require a different type of support system.
Yeah, that's right.
Because most definitely, father can be out of the home. You can be, you could have dealing with trauma. So you get to lean on others to fill those gaps.
Yep.
And that's what the CD was. That's what the South End was. That's what Seattle was.
Yeah.
You had a community that you can lean on. So
true.
while I was coming up in elementary, K through 8th, yeah, that's what it was. My mentors, my teachers, my principal coach right now. Shout out to George Breland. He was my 8th grade math teacher. He was my basketball coach, and he knew my parents. So he was on me immediately about any and all things. Now you can't go out to recess. We're gonna sit here and do this math.
Yeah.
Recess is over with for a month until we get this done.
Yeah.
And so it's like they were gonna sit me down to make sure that whatever my parents had an envisionment of was existing at the school.
It's like an extension of family. That's
complete.
Yeah.
Complete extension.
Yeah.
And so all of those individuals that got to go through that system, I think that's the difference now, because now the individuals who are teaching in the schools are, nothing against it, you're from a different city. You didn't grow up here. You didn't have the cultural understanding or the heritage of the area or the environment. Or also, you are coming into a situation in which you don't have a lot of the context. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, you would see those teachers be, hey, yeah, I taught your brother. I taught your cousin. I taught your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that's not really existing like that anymore.
Like that familiarity is not.
Familiarity is gone.
That's right.
And so that village of raising the kids, that's now been it's been taken away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to gentrification and some of those pieces, systems that are out of the control of, education. So my upbringing, I was able to get those experiences.
That's real.
And so I don't see that as often. And it's nothing against it, but there still has to be, you have to pay homage to it.
It's just a reality, though.
It's just a reality.
Yeah.
And so that need for the community still exists now, even when the community is no longer in that environment.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I like how you brought that up, because especially within like even just within Seattle school district growing up, it was like my principal from a whole different school was my brother's principal, and it's like they're like, hey, you Sam's little brother. I'm like, what? Like, what are the odds of that? That's crazy.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? So I like how you brought that up. I also want to go back to college.
Sure.
Talking about college. So what made you realize that you wanted to be an educator?
So in high school, while I was going through the College Success Foundation, right? And once again, I had no idea that college was even a thing. These are just people who were being able to support me through and recognize a system that I can access. So I'm learning it firsthand. And while I went through it and I was able to get to this next stage of college, I recognized that there were so many students, so many people from Seattle that did not get my same opportunity.
That's real.
So many people who probably deserved it and probably had the talent to do it, but just didn't get the resource. And it wasn't because of anything within their control. It's because of what was out of their control. Their parents didn't have the resources. They weren't put into the situations or in those opportunities.
Yeah, or the school they went to just didn't offer it.
Didn't have it.
It was 16 schools total for the Achievers in the state of
Washington.
Washington out of all the high schools. Only 16.
I went to Chief Sealth first as a freshman because I wanted to do the Gold Scholars program.
Okay.
And that was a program that was going to, pay for college. Full 4 year. Right? Didn't get it. So I go to the next school. My mom was, nope, we're going to another one.
Yeah. No, that's real though. Not to go off track, but that's like, because I went to Mariner up north, and it was the only school up north that actually got was eligible for it based on like the low income and just the diversity there, But yeah, like you said, like 16 high schools out of the entire state, so it's gonna be tough.
So when I got to college, I wanted to make sure that I wanted to create a system where kids got access, regardless. So going through, I did a different route than most. I decided I wanted to have my own nonprofit. I wanted to create a nonprofit that taught kids about the college process, how to get scholarships, how to utilize, your resources, teach your parents, and do these things intentionally, and then have that be implemented and always accessible. And so going through, that was my goal. So after I graduated Eastern Washington University,
go Eagles,
go Eagles. Come on now. I decided to get my master's in nonprofit administration with an emphasis in higher learning, and I continued to work for College Success Foundation, where I was trying to develop out my skill set on what it's going to take for me to do this. But I didn't feel like I was going to be able to just run a nonprofit just off the, just straight knowledge. It's going to be impossible. I wanted to understand from the grassroots, every single experience from elementary all the way to high school. So I needed to have that experience. So I started out as a AmeriCorps, working in elementaries and middle schools. And man, anybody who does AmeriCorps, man, bravo! You need a Medal of Honor. Really put my foot down into the roots of like trying to understand how I can support kids to learn about college. Was able to do that for 2 years, and then was able to come back here and work for Seneca Family Agency. And then I wanted to kind of get into counseling, kind of like how do I actually learn about supporting students who are dealing with traumatic situations, and how do I help them recognize you still have a chance to do this? Was able to do that for about a year, and I finally was able to break the door open and become a college and career specialist at Lindbergh for about 5 years, where I really was able to be the owner of teaching kids about college and what are your opportunities and how can I help you take that next step.
Yeah, that must have been a full circle moment.
It was full circle moment.
I mean, you can see yourself in that kid, literally.
Exactly.
We were all that kid.
I know exactly what you're doing.
We were all that kid. Like, what is FAFSA?
I don't even know. I don't think a college is for me. Actually, it can be, but that's not the only option. I wanted kids to understand there's different opportunities outside of college. Our generation, they just told us to go to college. It will solve all problems. Go to college. It's not the case. Learn that really quickly. That's not the case. There's so many different ways for you to access a success for your goals.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids don't even know what those are because they
Mhm.
don't know what's out here in terms of opportunities, in terms of terms of career, or in terms of them accessing a different form of existing that their parents never got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My parent worked the same job for 30 years.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways for you to actually live within your purpose. Maybe you want to be an artist. You don't got to go to college to be an
Yeah,
artist.
I think what I
You know, for
realized is
real.
like, because you said college and career specialist,
Yes.
right? I think at least when we were coming up, I think it was just strictly college.
It was just college.
Focused. It wasn't the career part. So I
Mm-mm.
love that.
It started to get developed over the time
Yeah,
while we were in
yeah.
college.
So would you say that that's what's changed now? Is now you're able to allow them to understand that there's way more options, there's
So
way
many
more
more
avenues. It
options.
doesn't just have to be college,
Mhm.
even though that is a route.
That is a route, but that's not the only route.
Got you.
It may not be the best route
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
And I think what ends up happening is, for me as an educator, I wanted to make sure kids got to understand, how do I be able to live within my purpose? What is your purpose?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody says, oh, yeah, I just want this job, or I want this career. But you never want to, we always say this, why do you want to work a job that doesn't feel like a job? You want to work a job that doesn't feel like a job.
Yeah.
You want something that you have fun with, something
Yeah.
that you're always going to find joy in.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you don't-
naturally something you.
yeah, you don't want to work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
You don't work those, like, those jobs need that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exist, but that's not your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Yeah.
want kids in high school and throughout education to find their passion,
Mm-hmm.
and then let us build that out for you.
Yeah.
What resource do you need? How
Yeah.
can I help you understand this is the route, this is the pathway you can take?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's real.
Because I think a lot of the times, even when we were growing up in school, it was like, all right, you got a choice between this, and this. And then
That's-
you got to try to fit in there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
As to oppose is like, well, I like to do this. And then, like you just said, like, build it out from there.
Build
you
it
know what I
out,
mean?
mhm.
So, yeah, I definitely think that's definitely important to, like, emphasize that part of it, you know?
So having those courageous conversations about, what is your passion and what do you really care about? For me, I wanted to give back to my community. If
Mhm.
somebody did it for me, I want to do the same.
Yeah.
That's me living in my passion now. Another kid, hey, I want to be, I really love drawing. Okay, great. There's so many things, different things you could do. We could do architect, we could do engineer. I can send you down an art pathway.
Yeah.
I can, and let me actually get you connected with the professor down at SU, where you can start developing banners. Maybe you can
Mhm.
sell your stuff on Etsy. And we
Yeah.
can start giving you different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you can have
Wow.
accountability for, like, yeah, I love what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm just doing it just to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I hated that our parents had to be forced into that.
Mm-hmm.
We also low key got forced into that.
For sure.
where you're
Right.
Like, yeah,
For
go
sure.
figure it out. Now I want kids to understand that you can actually do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah.
There's enough resources out here for you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just need help in navigating what that is.
Yeah.
And that's the key that a lot of our, especially black and brown kids, don't get the navigation.
Yeah.
To
It's
get
that,
to-
and I think it's like the attention and intention and time that
Mhm.
like you're taking. Because I think, although the resources may not be the same
Mhm.
currently today as they were for us back then, they still existed back then.
Still existed.
The avenues existed for us back
Mhm.
then. We just weren't being exposed, or our minds weren't being opened up to them,
Mhm.
So a lot of times it's not that as complex as people make it out to be, right?
No.
Like sometimes it's just, let me open their minds and let them know, yo, it's okay,
Yeah.
guilt free. You don't have to do something you don't really feel like you don't want to do.
hmm
And I don't think enough people are being told that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Especially the younger generation.
Definitely. So I kind of want to get into the role of a principal.
Okay.
So, from your perspective, like, what is the role of a principal?
My role is to be the leader of multiple different things, not
Mhm.
just the building, not just anything like that. My main goal, because everybody has a different definition of it.
Right.
For me, I'm a completely different way of being in my mind. I want to be educational. I want to be the one that's leading the learning. In order to do that, I need to be able to support teachers on how to make sure what we're providing as a product is meeting the outcomes that the kids need.
Mm-hmm.
All kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So my job is to be leading learning. Okay, that's my original number one priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, what ends up happening is there's so many other things that take me away from that number one thing.
Mm.
So I'm supposed to be teaching teachers how to change their practice to get the kids to get their outcomes. The better their outcomes are, the more opportunities that they have.
Mhm.
Okay, but now all the other things I have to now do. I have to do discipline. That takes up a lot of my time.
Right.
I have to do safety and security. I have to do meetings. I have to do hiring. I have to do a budget. I have to maintain that budget.
Mm.
I have to make sure that whatever a teacher may need to be successful in the classroom, they have.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Regardless of what it is.
Yep.
Mhm.
Teacher needs a certain support or resource. I need to go out and find it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really their job
Mm.
to go. I mean, they can, but it's my job to ensure they have every single tool they need to support kids.
Mm.
Now, my job is also to make sure the community has access to the actual platform of schooling. So, for example, teachers are busy. Okay?
Right.
They're taking care of so many. Garfield has 1,500 kids. Okay, they are seeing 30 plus kids per class.
Mm.
5
Yeah.
classes.
Yep.
Wow. That's a
You know how
lot.
many, how many emails? You know how many emails I get? Like, you're not
Mhm.
always going to be able to get to the teacher.
Right.
So, yeah, you're going to have your wants and your needs. So those will end up coming to me.
Mm.
And it is my job to ensure that it gets addressed. Whether it's I set up a way for us to have those conversations, or I set up a way for me to be the problem solver of whatever that issue is.
Mm.
And not everybody likes that their wants aren't being met because your wants aren't equitable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
My job is to ensure that I'm supporting kids.
Yeah.
I'm student centered first,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not last.
Yeah.
So if it's not focused on helping kids,
Mm-hmm.
kind of falls off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they are our consumers. They are the ones. They are the customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we always say the customers are right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If the
That's true.
customers, their needs need to be met.
Yeah.
The business won't run unless the customers are getting what they need.
That's true.
Mhm.
So my job is to ensure that kids' experiences are joyous, that they have access to educational justice and equity, they have educational supports and resources
Mhm.
that they can easily get to.
Mm-hmm.
My job is also to ensure that they're safe, that they have a safe environment where they can be authentically themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, that's a task in itself, because what ends up happening is that there are issues that exist
Mhm.
that are, once again, out of the principal's control, out of the school's control, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
I am a community principal. I'm at a community school.
Mhm.
Community problems are not the school's problems.
Mm-hmm.
People honestly forget that
Yeah.
they're two separate entities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If something goes down around Garfield or around the school, it's not Garfield.
Yeah.
That's just the community.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
just what it is.
Yeah.
And that's been that way before you moved there
Mm-hmm.
and before your family got there,
Mhm.
your uncles, aunts, it was still, those problems still existed.
Yeah.
That's
They're
right.
not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to learn to live within that system.
Yeah.
So I'm learning, I have to teach others what that is, because I have context,
Yeah.
because I'm from here, because I understand
And that's
where those issues are stemming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can talk about that and try to solve and create some supports.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are, I'm not going to say ignorant of it, it's just that you don't have knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you assume and make assumptions that it's a school problem.
Mm.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, the CD is always going to be the CD regardless of what
Yeah.
happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So welcome to the CD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to inform others. But we always, Garfield's always going to be in the newspaper because everybody loves Garfield.
Yeah.
Okay, we're a political school.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I want to ensure that everyone recognizes community issues and Garfield issues are two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
If you come into the school, kids love the school.
Yeah.
Teachers love the school. There's a lot of joy in there. There are things outside of the school that's not them. That's not my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my school and my kids get blamed for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, this is a side of being a principal that I think a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
And I think it's assumed you obviously have a lot on your plate, but I don't think people really understand what it's like from your point of view in terms of what's like you breaking down your priorities in terms of what I'm actually envisioning
Yeah.
versus what I'm being tasked with is kind of throwing things off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number one job is to be a leader of learning. Number one.
Mhm.
That's my whole job. My number one priority. Across the board for every principal, that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But they have to solve the problems of the whole school.
Mhm.
And one of the main problems for me is that I have to deal with safety issues that happen outside the school.
Yeah.
And community issues end up coming into the school because our kids are in the community.
Mhm. Yeah.
If my kid does something in the community, it's gonna end up coming in there.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
It's kind of like it kind of
Yeah.
goes back to like the quote a little bit in terms of what's in your control, what's not in your control, and like. So yeah, I understand what you mean when you say it can be difficult when people are kind of not understanding the full context of how things are really happening.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
So for example, a parent will ask, "Oh, hey, well, I heard such and such happen up the street." Okay,
Mhm.
is school safe? Yes, of course it is. Well, all of a sudden now it becomes a rumor mill that it's not.
Mhm.
But mind you, that's another issue. But it ends up coming back into the school because that kid probably did something
Yeah.
outside the community.
Yeah.
And it was a community issue, not a Garfield.
Yeah,
not
it's
Garfield
it's a
issue.
city issue.
That's a city issue.
Yeah.
That you need to call the supports for the city.
Yeah.
But instead, they call me.
Yep.
They call
Yep.
me. They want me to fix it.
Yeah.
And I can't fix it.
Mhm.
Technically, we're all in the same boat. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're a school, but like, we're no different than the person whose house is down the street.
Yeah,
At
We are
exactly.
all
Exactly.
trying to be safe
They're
Yeah.
all trying to
from
be safe.
whatever the city has going on, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's real.
So,
Yeah.
that's one of the major ones of how, it's different information. A lot of people don't really know the role.
Yeah.
But my number one role is to make sure that I'm leading learning for kids.
Yeah, and leading
Yeah.
is it's not supposed to be easy. So I think that's kind of assumed before you even
Mhm.
put yourself in. No, and it's not for everybody, right? I think, like you said, you started off kind of from the ground up, and going from being an educator. Not every teacher has ambitions to be a principal, right? And I think so. There's a lot to be said for people who step into those roles first and foremost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because somebody got to do it, and if someone's going to do it, it means they truly care.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
it's not about making sure, because a lot of people think that like principals are just disciplinarians, whatever. It's more about making sure kids learn. Like discipline is supposed to be learning at the end of the day. You're supposed to show the kid exactly, hey, it's okay to make a mistake. You made a mistake. It is what it is. Now this is what you need to do to make sure you never get back to that space
Exactly.
again.
Yeah.
And that what ends up happening is that when that kid continues to be within that disciplinary space, doesn't mean that they're not learning. That just means they didn't put that certain strategy into action.
Yeah.
But also, you got to think about it. Kids are already set in ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going against habits and routines that existed for years,
Yeah.
decades at that.
Yeah.
And then the one person who is trying to give you a tool is telling you, now use this tool for now on, even though you've been doing the same thing
Mm-hmm.
for the past like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Use that tool though
Yeah.
when it happens.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're going to have to come back and then, yeah, I'm going to teach you again. Hey,
Yep.
but it's out of love. It's not out of anything that's punitive.
Yeah.
And I think what ends up happening is people think that it's punitive, but but it goes back to that partnership, a village.
Yep.
If I'm teaching you this is the strategy, and then you go home
Yeah.
and they're like, no, you didn't do anything wrong.
Well, let's get
Yeah.
into
Then it's like it gets kind of confusing
it gets
at
kind
that
of confusing
point.
because
Yeah.
your kid is supposed to listen. Your first teacher ever is the parent.
Yeah, so we obviously talked offline about a lot of things as well, and one of the things that you brought up that you feel like may not either be getting the attention it needs or should be getting attention is what you just said, partnering with schools, merging the family and student relationship.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's a necessity.
What do you think needs to be done, or what are some things that you think can be done to help parents at home be more, I guess, connected to what's going on in the schools?
couple of the different ways is, you know, as we were talking earlier, when you think about schools, right, when is the most joyous time, which is most likely elementary.
Mm-hmm.
During that time in elementary, you're always in partnership with the school. You're up there. You're at those conferences. You even stay in the classroom.
Yeah.
You take work off to go read the book with the kid.
Go on
You
field
get to
trips.
go on field trips.
Yep.
You are
Yep.
so intertwined and connected to the student's education that they can't understand the difference. Oh, yeah, when they go home with homework, you're the one that's leading the homework for them. You are in communication about every single thing that's going on with the kid at that very young stage. Then we start to kind of fall back a little bit to kind of give the kid room to get, you know, develop
their own person.
identity.
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Kind of press that back
Exactly.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Now we're going to give you some space, right? I think we have to get back to the formula of like you need to get back into partnership and being at the school and being with your kid in terms of education. Because unfortunately, due to COVID, there has been some severe impacts cognitively for a lot of kids. We're dealing with some kids who legitimately can't read and write because of that type of an impact.
Yeah.
And so the ones who, as I said earlier, you're in this routine of like, you don't read. So when I tell you, the teacher tells you, go home and read this book for an hour, you have not been reading a book for an hour for 5-6 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now you want me to do this randomly, and it's a book that I don't like or something I don't care about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And as I said earlier, the people who were telling me to sit down for an hour was my teacher, who was an extension of the family. We're going to sit down here for an hour.
Yeah.
We're going to do this regardless. And you're going to, the more you build the muscle, the more it becomes strong enough where it doesn't feel like it's a task. Because now you're developing an interest. Kids don't understand that's how it equates.
Yeah.
But who's the person to be able to sit the kid down?
You know,
it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not to cut you off, but I also
please.
it's like, because when you're saying this, I'm like, I'm not playing, not to say devil's advocate, but I'm just kind of putting myself in the opposite side, where I think we all have been there. When we go from middle school to high school, it's like, hey, back up.
I got this. Yeah.
Don't embarrass me. You know, kids are like that, where they're like, I don't want my parents around. Whether it's mom picking you up, you're like, hey, pick me up around the corner. Like, just little things like
Cool,
that.
I'll take the bus.
I'm not saying that is
True.
that's more important than obviously their educational development. But I do think there has to be a way in which that can still be maintained. Do you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
I completely get what you're saying. Yeah. I got kids now. Oh, don't call my mom. I don't want my mom. She's gonna be here all day. Yeah, she'll walk your classrooms with you. She really don't make me do that.
Yeah, don't make me
you
do
know
that.
What I'm saying? But on the back end, if you don't want that type of experience, the other thing is to partner at home. Like when the kid goes home, mind you, kids, unfortunately, the schedule for schooling is a little bit different now. If you guys didn't know, school gets out at 3:40.
Okay.
Damn.
So about an hour after till his prime time traffic, when everybody gets off, after school programs aren't like that what it used to be, so on and so forth.
Wow.
So it's like you have a different accountability to whether when you get home, you carve out that time to really sit down with your kid to go over their homework,
Got you.
to go over their plan for the week, what did they receive from each one of their teachers, and sit them down and make sure they're spending time.
Yeah.
Because when they get home, they're on their phones. They're outside.
Yeah.
They're at the community centers. They're kicking it.
Yeah.
And I'm good. You know, I'm going to turn it in when I can. But also, you got to go back to a lot of black and brown. There is a disconnect where it's just trust. Yeah, he got it.
Yeah. Yep.
But you never actually went to go check your kid's grades because you don't know how to. You just, the kid showed you a grade. Mind you, that was a screenshot from last quarter. From the first quarter.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, he got A's. No, he don't. No, he does not.
Yeah.
No, he does not. He has D's and C's. Barely got C's, but he has A's. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And then it's the parents not trusting me, the educators, because they're trusting their kids.
See, this is why this is why this conversation is important, bro, because I think there is a miscommunication or misinterpretation of what's happening at schools versus what the hell's going on at home, right? Because I think it's a dance. It's a tandem. You guys have to work together.
Truly.
And I think you expressing this hopefully can kind of open the eyes to parents to understand, teachers need help.
We need help.
They need help. There's only so much they can do with 30 kids in one class, and each kid has their own need and attention in terms of what's required. So, yeah, it sounds like it has to be a holistic wraparound type of support.
Yeah, so
in and out of the school.
a couple of different things we're doing. We're doing family nights, cultural family nights for every single. We have Africana night that's coming up in August 17th. We're going to be doing Latinx night. We're going to be doing every single night for every one of the cultures that we support.
I love that.
Where families get to come in and we provide you resources. You get to talk to the teachers.
That's
I
big.
mean, yeah, we do open house. Like, yeah, that's one. We do curriculum night. That's one.
Be more
But-
intentional
Yeah,
and targeted.
but then we need to be more intentionally targeting, demographics because their supports are different.
That's right.
Regardless.
Yeah.
And so there's certain things that are happening in the community that the school needs to be knowledgeable of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That we need to be able to provide them resources like, hey, this is what's going to help you.
Yeah.
But also, okay, that community issue is existing. Great. Now we can kind of do some restorative justice in school or in the community where we can kind of support you. And so we're trying to be really intentional. And so I think those are the next movements
Okay.
that, as I said earlier, things that I'm marinating on, like how can I grow partnership with families and communities where they get the voice, because there's so much knowledge that's not accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, that needs to be brought to the table.
Yeah. No, that's
definitely.
real. That's real, man.
I know we kind of touched on this before we started, but I also want to ask you, how is budgeting and funding affecting schools, and what do you feel like needs to change?
All right, I can write a book on this, but I'm gonna be real quick and hit you guys straight. So funding, at the end of the day, is the reason why we're in a budget crisis, just in general, so everybody knows that the way that the school system is set up is not set up for the kids of today. It was set up for the kids of the past. Just off rip, okay? Certain amount of kids in the seats give you a certain amount of money, okay? I have X amount of kids, means I get X amount of teachers at the end of the day, okay? It was set up to where you, after education, you go into this one job. We're gonna work this 9 to 5. We're going to just do this one thing. Now you have so many different opportunities. It's not just public school, charter school, homeschool, online school, trade school. Like, there's multiple different options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now when we're like, why is there a budget crisis? It's because the formula in which we were put in place for school to exist does not work for our current context at all whatsoever. So now we're in a budget crisis. We don't have those kids in those seats. Oh, well, unfortunately, I'm going to be losing a teacher or two. And now we're talking about consistently happening because, of course, societally, we're not having kids. We are not, our age group is not having kids. We understand it's an expensive price point. We understand that that's why we're not having them. And so now we have a gap. So not only do we have opportunities of different schooling, you're not having kids. I don't know how long the formula is not going to fix it.
It has to evolve.
It has to evolve. But unfortunately, with education, and I call this the fantastic resistance, because they will fight to ensure that it does, because the system is providing a certain type of benefit to a certain type of demographic and population.
That's real.
You've been benefiting from it since its existence. Why would I not?
If it's not broken, don't fix it. But it's been broken for us.
It's been broken for a whole separate.
It's
not broken for us though. We're winning.
No, that's so real, and it's not black and white, right? I think it's a lot of gray area, especially when you look at certain communities need certain things, right? Like their needs are different from others, behaviorally, educationally, academically, based on their environments, based on what they've been through, versus maybe some others who are in more affluent neighborhoods, or their upbringings aren't as traumatic or as disruptive to where they're able to learn. So that formula may work for them. So
I think it's more. It's like you can't just look on a piece of paper and see numbers and be like, okay, this is what they need. It's like you gotta be in there and be like, all right, this is kind of like really like what you're doing. Like go within and try to fix it. Like you know what I mean? It's
so when I lose a teacher, I gotta go write grants. I have to go find that money.
Yeah,
to save that teacher who's been working at the school for 20 years, 15 years, who was a good teacher, or the new teacher. And as I say this now, we need new blood in the school systems. These new educators, maybe black or brown or not, regardless, they have new ways of teaching that is going to connect with kids. But they're on the chopping block because they're the new teachers. The way that the labor is set up is
seniority.
Yeah. I get new blood in. Oh, I don't have the FTE to keep you. You gotta go.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So it's
the
formula is not set up for success.
Yeah. It just seems like the world is moving and changing and evolving. The people are changing and evolving, right? The knowledge is changing and evolving, but the systems aren't.
Nope. The systems are stagnant.
Yeah. The
systems are doing what it's supposed to do, honestly.
Yeah. Also I wanted to touch on, I guess since we're already talking about some of the issues, but like the diversity, we talked about it, but diversity in educators and teachers. I was doing some research before this episode, and it says this is in the state of Washington, or nationally, I should say, nearly 60% of public school students, or this is the Puget Sound, sorry, 60% of public school students in the Puget Sound are students of color, but only 13% of teachers reflect that diversity.
Yep.
Right? So it's like, for you, when you're hiring, like, what do you think is holding back some of the, I guess, aspiring black and brown teachers from getting those positions? Or how can we ensure that these positions are getting filled? Obviously, the budget is one thing, but...
Budget is one thing. I think also one of the major ways that we can really impact it are going back to, pathways, right? There should be pathways for teachers. You have kids right now that want to be teachers. They will tell you, like, yeah, I want to be a teacher, right? And then we're developing pathways. There's CTE, career and technical education. Those are pathways. So we are developing them, getting them in. But then what ends up happening is when you get time to hire, a lot of teachers don't retire.
Yeah.
Like we think about the retirement age that keeps extending.
Yeah.
It keeps extending because the price is high to live here.
Everything's connected.
Yeah, so like now that you have this one teacher that like, would tell you, hey, I'm about to retire this year. Oh, great! Now I can post a position, get some new blood in, and then all of a sudden, actually, nah, I think I'm gonna stay for another 3 years. I'm gonna stay for another 4.
It clogs it up.
It clogs it up, right. But also, at the end of the day, retirement should be happening.
Yeah.
Because you've already put in enough work.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, change is the fantastic resistance. Some teachers don't change their practice.
Yeah.
At all. They've probably been doing the same thing for multiple years.
And you can't really blame them either.
You can't really blame them.
This is a different generation.
Why would they change now?
Why would I change now?
Exactly.
But once again,
they served their time in a sense. They literally served, contributed, and paid it forward for the generation they were supposed to pay it forward for.
And so now, as I said earlier, my job is leading learning. So I need you to change because my kids have needs. And now we have to go back and forth about the pendulum of I've been doing this, has been working for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It no longer works anymore because these kids' needs are different.
Yeah.
So you need to change. But have you guys ever tried to show your grandparents how to do AI yet?
No, I wouldn't even do that.
Okay, now you understand.
Teach them how to write prompts, maybe.
Show them how to write a prompt, maybe.
I mean, it's honestly.
Have FaceTime first. Let's
start with FaceTime first. So now you have to start somewhere, and then but they have to be open to that.
Exactly.
What do they want? No, actually, I don't want that. I'm good with what I have.
Yeah.
So it's like you're combating something that's existing, these routines and habits that aren't getting the outcomes for what kids need.
Yeah.
And it's not about what the adult wants. It's about what the kid needs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so now I have to get people to recognize hey, it's okay. It's okay to not know. But now just be okay with doing something different and be okay with falling on your face. Try it.
Yeah.
Try it. Fall on your face.
Yeah.
When you first rode your bike, you fell on your face. You got back up. You went again. You scraped your knee. You went again, and all of a sudden now you're popping willies.
Yeah.
You gotta go through. There's a process.
Yeah.
There's a process, and so I think it's rather that is where we're at right now, where we are having the way of learning is so interesting because there's so much more in terms of accessibility for kids.
Yeah.
Also for teachers.
Yeah.
You used to just have this one curriculum that was developed and then you just had to do it. No. There's so many more things you can grab to make things engaging and fun for kids where it's joyous and now they want to be there. You can do those things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have to just do the same checkbox. You can do something that is so outside of your box. Yeah, the kids would probably love that you failed.
Yeah. I think
great. Let's try this again.
And they'll recognize that you're trying to change too, you know. So they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's cool," you know. Like
I think everything's just so interconnected. Like as you're breaking this down, you know, kind of reminds me of The Wire, like the show. No, because seriously, like every season is like every season is like a different perspective or different vantage point, but it's all connected. And it's like what you're talking about is like whether it's okay, we need to hire teachers, but then wait. We need the budget, but wait, we need the parents at home to make sure they're engaged. It's like everything needs to work together in order for this thing to continue to move forward. And, you know, and it seems it's like that's just not the case.
Yeah, because there's gaps. There's things that are out of the control.
Yeah.
Some things are out of the control. But my job as a principal is to ensure that I'm bridging those gaps, that I'm creating those systems where they do now talk. And I have to have courageous conversations. And when I'm having those conversations, a lot of people don't understand that there are so many other dominoes effects that are behind the scene. Like it's just they believe like, oh, this is happening to me. No, it's not happening to you. It's happening to you because this system failed and this gap existed, and now this is our reality. But we still have to do this regardless because this is a need. And so I get to be at the forefront of that. But I'm always the type of person where I care about the voices at the table. When voices aren't at the table is where I start to really want to elevate. You know what I'm saying? And so when you think about parents who have, like this, are your first generation parents who came from overseas, right? They had to do so many different things to make sure that they put on for the families.
That's
Their
real.
kids are the first one that got the education. They're the ones that are going through it. Right. And so when I have to tell the parent, like, hey, their educational experience, they didn't have it. They probably didn't even like the education whatsoever. Or they had a horrible high school experience themselves. Why would they trust it? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause the first call that they get is about, oh yeah, you know, Johnny cutting up again. Johnny late. Not doing his homework. Johnny talking again. It's nothing positive. It's not hey, bro. I really love the way that Johnny comes into the classroom. He creates community. Like the kids love him. Like he's such a jokester. But you know, even with his jokes, he makes everybody laugh. I love the joy. Even me and him clown a little bit. But if you can't talk to him, like, can you tell him not to joke so much when I'm giving my lesson? Like, I'll give him time. Like, can you talk to him about that? I'm addressing the same thing. Just in a positive way. Instead of it always being negative. And so, like, when you have that experience, go back to the routines of kids going through those same, like, those toolboxes. Parents have been getting those calls for years.
That's real.
For
years. So they ignore the calls.
That's great. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like for a parent, it subconsciously makes you resent the place. So you know, but if it's coming from they're hearing positive things coming from, they're like, oh yeah, you know, you kind of subconsciously start to lean in towards it. You know what I mean?
Wow. I think it also speaks to just what creates that gap too. You know? Like really that distance is like, as much as you're saying you want families to be in partnership with the schools, you have to like nurture that relationship. It is a relationship.
It's a relationship.
If all you're saying is negative things about their child, like you said, they can resent you and maybe feel like you're not doing your job. You know, so it's
so that goes back to that trust piece of like,
real.
you know, Johnny isn't doing da-da-da. And then Johnny, here we go, another teacher talking. Instead of like, hey, listen, Johnny, I know Johnny didn't turn his homework in today completely fine. I talked to him earlier. He said he had practice
Yeah.
after school, and they ran a little late, and he stayed up really late. Try to tell him to get off the iPhone. I don't be playing Fortnite. Try to get him to do a little bit of homework. I'm going to let him turn it in 2 days from now. I'm going to give him 48 hours. If he can even come in the mornings to kind of work with me or after school.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to extend the deadline because I believe that you're going to work with him. But, coming back
Yeah.
from late, practice, he should at least be spending at least an
Yeah.
hour. I address the same thing,
Yeah.
Right.
but it's about caring. Like I love that. I love Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leading with love. Leading with love.
Yeah,
Leading with
exactly.
I
love.
lead with
That's
love.
what I'm saying.
I love Johnny.
Yeah.
Like, I see him, that's family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to you that way.
Yeah.
But when you don't, once again, the community was in the schools and they
Yep.
were the ones who
Yep.
you're speaking with love.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so now you see that extension of the family in every single one of your kids.
Yeah.
So I have to nurture. You have to nurture a relationship,
Mm.
and nurture is not just a one-off. It's every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's commitment.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
commitment.
It's commitment.
You have to lead with love, and you have to be kid-centered
Yeah.
That's
to
real.
Yeah.
grow that community that's
Yeah.
not there like it used to be.
Yeah, that's dope how you made that like distinction on like how to deliver that same message in a different way, which I think is a dope just leadership trait, you know.
Yeah.
So just speaking about leadership, I guess for you, what was like one of the main like lessons you kind of learned in leadership, and how did it kind of like shape you on the way like you lead today?
One of the main lessons that I learned is that you cannot change your leadership to fit others' wants and needs. And I say that as a black male because I'm seen as a disciplinarian. I'm seen as a coach. I mean, people come in my building and think I'm a coach. Oh, you're security, da 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 da. Because that's just the normative placement that I get. Assumptions,
Stereotype.
Yeah.
stereotype. It
Yeah.
exists. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
not gonna fight it.
Yep.
But I have to be authentically myself to be a leader of learning.
Mm.
So I have to make sure that whoever comes into the building recognize like, hey, yeah, I have somebody to do the discipline pieces. We're gonna go on this learning walk real quick, and we're gonna really observe this teacher to kind of understand like what are her best qualities. How can I take that best quality and tool, have it exist in another department? Like those are the things. So I have to make sure that I'm authentically myself at all times, and
Mhm.
I'm showing up with my values, regardless of what assumptions are made.
Yep.
Stereotypes exist. They're gonna be there,
Right.
and I'm not gonna try to change them. Because I'm not going to try to change your mind. I'm going to change it with my actions
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how I'm presenting myself on a daily.
Yeah.
So if I show up that way 5 days out of the week, you show up to my school 5 days out of the week, you call me security guard one time, by the fifth week, you won't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next day, you won't say that.
Yeah.
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 Because I'm showing up that way.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't allow that to integrate into what my purpose is.
Yeah.
My purpose is I need to have a certain type of positionality. My kids need to know that I'm there to support them.
Mm.
I'm there to hold them accountable. And I'm also there to ensure that they're having a joyous time. But I'm also there to make sure that you're getting the necessities for you to reach your goals.
Mm.
So I'm going to be on your head about some things,
Yeah.
but I'm also going to joke and clown you too.
Yeah.
Like my Jordans are better than yours.
Yeah.
But also my feet are smaller than yours, so maybe we can switch shoes one of these days. Because, so it's
Yeah.
like,
What size are those?
what size are those?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
my size. You
Yeah.
can play one-on-one. If you beat me, you can get these
Yeah.
Concords.
Nah, that's real.
But if you lose,
Yeah.
you know what? You're gonna be running laps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I'm gonna do things because I know it's what needs to happen in terms
Right.
for kids to find engagement.
But that's just who you are
That's just
anyway.
who I am.
You're being
Exactly.
yourself, but you're also being the better version of yourself that you're trying to be. It
Yeah,
seems like,
because
you know?
there was somebody
Yeah.
did it for me.
Yeah.
Somebody was that mentor. Somebody took me under their wing. Somebody knew that regardless of how I showed up that day,
Mm-hmm.
that I got love regardless of what was
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, I was homeless. Come to school, can't eat. Why am I always eating? Because I ain't got no food at the house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What? Why am I getting sent to detention? Well, he's eating in the classroom. Do you know that his not You know he's homeless, right?
Yeah.
He's homeless.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you talk to him?
Yeah.
Have you? Do
Thank
you
you.
understand
Yeah.
his story?
Yeah.
Do you recognize
Yeah.
he's has a very degenerative bone disease. Like he can't walk like that. Why is he
Yeah.
walking so slow? 'Cause he can't walk like that. Like
Wow.
so when I say relationships have to be nurtured, you have to get to know the kid holistically,
Yeah.
not just as the person, that student in the seat. You need to know their story. You need to want to know their story.
Yeah. That's big.
And because when you know those contextual background information, you're going to understand why that student shows up that way and how you can provide them supports and how you can give them additional love that they may not be receiving elsewhere. Because the school is a safe place for kids. If you didn't know, now you know. It is a safe place for kids because outside of it may not be. And you have to take that into accountability.
Yeah.
So, like for right now, joyous time in the summer, right? This is one of my everybody loves the summer. Some kids, summer's not great.
Yeah.
Because home's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their oasis is the school.
Yeah.
So now they're away from oasis for 2 years or 2 months, and then why you think it's so amped up in the first 2 months because oh my gosh, I can be back.
Yeah.
So it's like there's so many different systems that exist within the school that people aren't aware of.
Yeah.
And so that relationship piece is the main system that I'm trying to elevate to get that community to exist again.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, that's man, that was
yeah.
powerful words, bro. And Ivan, as we're kind of nearing the end here, bro. One question I had, bro, is for the educator, the teacher, right, currently, who may be watching and listening to this, who's doing the best they can, literally, and they care, right? And I said they're showing up, right? What are some like encouraging words you have for them or words of advice as they are also battling this system and all the things that are going against us at the moment?
So I've been stating this for a long time, and I'm gonna die on this hill. Okay, self-care, it has to exist. You cannot be your best self if you're not taking care of yourself. And so I have teachers, I know they're still out there, who grade all the way till midnight. They are doing every single thing out and under the sun to support these kids. What are you doing to support yourself to where you can show up? Because there's stressors. There's going to exist. Everybody has a threshold. Everybody, legitimately, including myself. And you need to develop out routines where you are actually taking yourself out of because the job is going to be there. Unfortunately, it's just what it is, right? If you're not there as a teacher and you call out, guess what? I'm still going to get somebody to support that space.
Yeah.
I'm still going to find someone to help those kids. Like, it's just what it is. I'm going to get a sub. Okay. So I can't have you breaking down because you're not taking care of your well-being. So I advocate for self-care. You need to figure out what we're doing for your body, for your mind, and for your soul. Like, what are we doing? I work out in the morning. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym for an hour. I got to be in the building by 7:30.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I'm sacrificing sleep so I can be okay with a normative process with my body.
Yeah.
Right? Are you going? Some people read a book. Some people watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like, you have to detach yourself. You have to detach yourself from the job.
Yeah.
So you can take care of your well-being.
Yeah.
So you can show up your best.
Be intentional about that.
You have to be intentional, and you have to do it. It has to be a routine.
Yeah.
Don't do it just one time.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to the gym once this week.
Like, wait till you burn out, then you do it.
Yeah,
then
you wait till
back to your
the burnout
yeah.
exists.
Yeah,
because what ends up happening is when burnout exists, and you're harming kids.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you see those crash outs that happen at like a restaurant or whatever, they crash out on the customer, and now the customer's suing the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't take care of yourself. You have to find a formula of success where you're having self-care exist in that formula 5 days throughout that week. I don't know what you're doing, whether you're going on a run, whether you're at a book club, whether you got a date night, or, something.
Do it for you.
Do it for you.
Yeah.
So that way, when you come back to work, you are at a higher degree than you were the previous day.
That's real. That's good advice.
1%. What percentage are you being better the next day?
That's real.
Yeah.
And that's not just saying career-wise or anything health-wise.
Yeah.
What percentage better are you being?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's my one-off.
Man, that's a gem. You said he was gonna drop some jewels.
Man,
there
listen,
you go.
Yeah.
All the
There you
jewels
go.
are. I got more, man. I got unlimited amounts.
No,
I got
that
unlimited
was
amounts.
that. But that's meaningful, bro, and that's important because I think that applies to a lot of people, everybody, really. But
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, thank you for that. Did you got anything else?
Where can people get in contact with you and get involved with whatever school
So
programs?
they can come bug you. And
How
email
do parents
you.
get involved
Yeah,
with what they
parents
want
email
to
you.
do?
You can get involved at any point in time. I have a volunteer network
Talk to
where
them.
you can come and be a hallway monitor. You want to come in a classroom. You want to come mentor. You want to come support homework club. I have a complete system at Garfield for you to always be in the building and supporting kids because there's a gap that needs to be filled. Like they need to see us in a different light.
Yeah.
And it does not matter. You don't have to be a teacher. You have knowledge to be really given to the next generation.
The village.
Yeah, do not sleep on what you have internally in yourself to not want to provide to give back.
Yeah.
So you guys can reach me. My email is idrhods@seattleschools.org. You can also go to our Garfield website too, and we have my Connect is on there as well, including my work sale, which is here. I'm not gonna give it to everybody because you're gonna blow me up. But
hit him up on LinkedIn
if
as
you
well.
really wanna, I'm also on LinkedIn too. You guys, I am accessible. I am for the people. So please do reach out and let's partner together to support the next generation.
Yes, sir. Final question before you get out of here. We ask every guest this question. I'm sure you know what's coming. But if you can, what's one word to describe what keeps you on the up and up and why?
I would have to say purpose. Okay. I live in my purpose every single day. And when I'm doing that, I'm honoring those who have come before me. And I get to honor those who come after me.
That's real. Well said, bro.
Yeah.
Man, this has been amazing.
Amazing.
Again, bro, I just want to thank you again for
Appreciate
being
y'all.
here, bro. Super proud of you, bro, just for the
Yeah,
journey.
man.
I think it's rare for people to have the context we obviously have, but definitely just want to salute you for the work you're doing.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate it. It takes, I give this quote to all my kids. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Who you surround yourself with will provide you with the opportunities and the way your life will be led. So you surround yourself with success. You surround yourself with like-minded people. You surround yourself with those who are leading towards your goals. That's the pathway you'll take. When you don't, then you have a different experience.
That's real.
So show me your friends. I'll show you your future. As you see my friends, and you see my future.
That's real.
Let's go, man. And I also want to thank you for the role you took on to impact our youth, bro. So
I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. So much more to do too.
Yeah.
Work never
We're just
stops.
getting started, right?
Yeah, what?
Come on.
Let's start now. We ain't gonna finish later.
That's real.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, man, I think it's safe to say Ivery Rhodes is officially a member of the Up and Up. Can we get a round of applause, man?
Let's get it.
My brother, Don Light, man.
To the Dons, man.
To continue supporting the podcast and the entire Up and Up movement, be sure to rate, review, like, and subscribe.
As well as follow us at _ the Up and Up on all social media platforms to stay connected with everything the Up and Up has coming your way.
Thanks for listening, and until the next one.
Keep it on the Up and Up.